is Linnette Vassell, and I am the Community and Gender Consultant on the CDRFF project for St. Thomas. I did the study on St. Thomas, the social and gender analysis study for St. Thomas, and I've had the opportunity to look at the results of the Jeffreytown project from a gender perspective as part of preparation for this current workshop. I think that this workshop has been and this whole project has been very focused in terms of outlining to all that gender sensitive outcomes and outputs are what are required. I think the project is requiring and challenging implementers to look at the way that the project will impact the life of women, men, boys, and girls. And so one of the things I had to do at this workshop is to do a discussion, to facilitate a discussion about how gender interfaces with the knowledge management issues that they are looking at. And we spent quite a lot of time in examining what we mean by gender, because you can't speak about gender analysis and gender mainstreaming unless people internalize, understand what this is. And one of the things I found so interesting is that people want to understand and to bring their own experiences before we get into the mechanics of how we do gender analysis. And so we took a lot of time in the workshop for people to talk about their understanding of gender in the disaster risk reduction and climate change adaptation. And unfortunately, we had the experience of Haiti right before us. And unfortunately, in the midst of this workshop, we also had the experience of heavy rains in Portland and St. Thomas, and we could see the results in the floods, and we could see very concretely how these events, these disaster events, these hazards affect women and men differently. And I was very pleased with the response of the participants, who were very sharp in looking at how, for example, the gender division of labor shows itself in the occupations and the activities of men and women before, during, and after disasters. One of the things that was very clear, for example, is the impact of water, contaminated water, lack of water on the lives of men and women. And we saw pictures that people were able to say, yes, even in the midst of the storm and flooding, women have to contend with the matter of finding water for domestic purposes and to care for the children. And we also had another content that was looking at, okay, in post-hurricane reconstruction, see, it's the male who is on the rooftop batting down the houses, and that's a part of the gender division of labor that impacts not only the roles, but the potential of both men and women to benefit. So we had a context in which we could say, okay, how do we construct our knowledge and our activities to change the dynamics in terms of opportunity and roles of women, to make women and men more roles in development, because that is what we want. We want communities to overcome the hurdles of where, for example, somebody reported that the men don't want any women in the construction at all, and it is a problem. So how do we create a dialogue and an understanding that women as well as men have a right and need the opportunity to create their livelihoods in these non-traditional ways? These are the ways this workshop has impacted us. We see it reflected in the plans that are evolving, and I'm very hopeful that over time, with sensitive and proactive and engaging discussions, men and women at the community level will come to embrace the understanding that we have to make development happen for men, for women, for boys and girls, and to overcome the power relationships and the inequalities that characterize our experiences at this time.